Hello, this is my little Rollei 35 that I got last year, used. It's in its little leatherette Rollei case with the hand strap, a little zipper, and here is my little Rollei 35. There was a like a lens keeper on here, but it's the original little lens cap, and it's such a tiny little camera. It's very quirky. It's got the light meter at the top. It has the sort of lens barrel release, shutter release, the winding mechanism. But on the front, here we set the color, what type of film you're using. It's just a dial just to kind of keep it in mind. It doesn't really do anything. And here you set the shutter speed. Here you set your aperture on this little dial, and you do have to push in the little bottom. And again, the DIN and the ASA, it is just it doesn't really do anything. It's just to let you know what you have inside the camera. The lens on this is a 1 to 3.5, 40mm Carl Zeiss Tessar. And here's the light meter right here. On the bottom we have the folding winding to rewind your film mechanism. We have the bottom release that you slide out here, so you can slide the bottom off. We have the hot shoe there, which I actually have the Rollei, official Rollei flash for this, and it kind of sticks out. It's really strange that it's on the bottom. And then we have here it would be the film count, and this takes 35mm film. Here's the little lens that you twist out, you pull it and you twist. There, the barrel's extended. And if you want to put it back, this is the part that's kind of tricky. You have to do some stuff to put it back in, and I'll show you that. So here we have the feet where you would focus it. There is no preview for focusing, so you just got to kind of go with it, which is the really strange thing. People love this camera, but there's no preview, so you kind of have to go old school and kind of guesstimate. You know, there's infinity. 3 feet is the minimum they recommend. If you look, there's a little through the viewfinder. There is a square where you can line stuff up. To wind the film, put it in reverse, you just flip this up, go like that. This is model 1363278, and this is the German model. These are actually not as common as the Singapore models, which Rollei moved their production to Singapore, I guess because it was cheaper, but I do prefer the German-made cameras. So to take the bottom off, you push this out, this little switch, and nothing pops out. You have to pull, and then you get the bottom part pops off. And here, this little piece goes down. That's where you put your film between there. And the film winds backwards, which is kind of odd. There's a little lens keeper, so it's almost like a backwards little camera. One thing that really threw me for a loop, I thought that someone had taken and lost there's actually a little battery that goes in here, so it's not a selenium. It actually, well, it's run by, if it's a selenium light meter, you can't replace it. But if it's a battery light meter, you can. And so the battery is actually in there. The thing is, I thought, oh, doesn't it look like the battery cover's gone? Actually, this is the battery cover. I actually ordered one online for like $10 because it's a specialized part. The battery, there it is. So this is what it looks like it's empty, but that's where the film thing goes, and then there's the top, and then here's the battery. And it takes a PX13 or a PX625. They're pretty much the same thing. There's the battery. It's a funky battery. And this one, yeah, but who makes this? Yeah, it says 625A for this one. And it kind of shows you how to put it in. See, there's a little battery. You see the little, so I'll just put it in there. And then that's the battery cap. And of course I had no instructions, so I had no idea what to do. And you just kind of screw this in. Not too tight, it's just by contact. So I ordered one, and I got it in, and I'm like, oh, let me, go ahead and restore my little Rollei. And it's the same thing. I'm like, how does it fit in there? I'm like, there's one already in there. There's the mechanism in there. So I'm going to put this back on. So you line it up in little grooves. There. It slides in. Then you push it all the way in and you lock it. And it's good enough. Good. So here, the shutter's already been cocked, so I'm going to take a picture. Now, I still can't push this down in there. You have to cock the shutter, push the release, twist a little bit, and then push this back in. If you haven't picked this camera up in a while, you're going to think your camera's broke. And I thought mine was broke. The only thing I think that something is wrong is the barrel still is fairly loose. I don't know if that's normal. So you extend it, twist, and then there, it's there. But I already have the shutter cocked, so you need the shutter cocked before you can put it back in there. So the things this is a completely manual camera. It's not a rangefinder technically. So we have the aperture we can control here by pushing up this bottom piece. We have the lens itself from 3 feet to infinity, and the shutter speed with this little dial. And when you can hear a sort of a spring tightening up or loosening when you do this. And so to take the picture, this has to be extended and twisted, or else it won't take the picture, which is sort of a safety. And then you just push the button. So we need to cock it again, and then we can push this button to release the barrel and put it back in. You'd think it would twist back to where it was supposed to be, and lock, but it doesn't seem to. I don't know if that's how it's supposed to be. So there. And here you can see it's on one pick, but as soon as you open this up, it changes back to 0. So it's going to take, you just look at the bottom to see where every time you wind it. Anyway, I'm going to put it back in here. Actually, put it back where Rollei is right there. There. So it's such a tiny little camera, but people love the camera. I have not taken pictures with it yet. I bought it, and then I started to really appreciate Rollei and their TLRs, and I have my 3 Rollei TLRs, the Magic 1 and 2, and then I have a Rolleicord that I have been taking pictures with. So, but anyway, that's my little Rollei 35. Thanks for watching.